Hey Dragons, this is Mrs. McShane, the College Career and Dual Enrollment Coordinator at Jefferson City Schools. And I want to talk to you today about a great opportunity that's going to start while you're out of school for fall break, and I don't want you to miss it. It's the Probe College Fair, and basically it's just a national fair that travels around the whole entire school year, and our particular region is usually hosted in the fall. And so, with everything changing in light of COVID 19, it's harder to be able to go onto college campuses and actually tour and have the same student group presentations that we were used to scheduling in the past. And I know that it is so hard because you probably feel like you have Zoom meeting headaches or just internet meltdowns because you feel like you're glued to the computer 90% of your waking hours. And I totally feel that. However, this is still an avenue, though, that we've been blessed with to help get you that same information so you don't feel like you're missing out on planning your college experience. Or if you're in that undecided state, especially if you're in ninth and 10th grade, you may just want to know what is out there. How do I even start to look at admissions requirements? What kind of programs do colleges have? And with what I want to do with my career, is there a college out there that is necessary for me to partner with in order to get the education and training that I need? So the Probe Fair also sometimes hosts some military branches that can give some great information on ways to pay for college and alternate routes on getting the career training that you might need as well. So, what I would like for you to do is just take a quick minute. If you have your phone and you're working off of your Google Chromebook, you can actually use your camera, or if you have a QR reader, and scan that QR code. And I'm actually going to download this on the Ready to Graduate website. So, if you want to pull that up or maybe print it out to scan it and upload it later, you can certainly do that. But if you have an opportunity, you can go ahead and scan it. And what it is going to do is bring up the website that's going to show you all the sessions and the partnering colleges that are going to be available. Should have mentioned this earlier, but the fair will actually start in two sessions. It'll have an October 5th through the 7th section, and then again in November the 2nd, and then on the 4th and the 5th. And what's really cool about this format is in the past, the Probe Fairs usually come to high schools and they spend about an hour and a half, and that's all the time you have to try to engage with about 150 colleges or more. So it's sort of like a mad dash. So now that they're kind of spreading it out over a couple of weeks time period, and it's also at night in the evening. So if your parents want to hop in on some of these sessions and be a part of that process, they can certainly do that too. So when you scan that code, it's going to pop up this website right here. And it's going to ask you to go ahead and register. So I'm not sure if there's limited seat spacing or not. They haven't said that, but I think they just want to get a generalized head count of how many students want to participate in each session to make sure that there is enough resources for everyone. So let's say we're going to start looking at this while you're out for fall break next week. The Probe Fair will start on Monday, the October the 5th, with some panel presentations. And what panel presentations mean is that they've brought some experts together who are going to present and then have a Q&A session for you if you're still not sure about some of the information that they're sharing with you. So just for an example, let's kind of click on this panel and let's see what our options are. So this screen tells us that around 5 o'clock, we have our choice between two different panels. They start at the same time, so we have to choose one. One is on the 40 college essay and application tips. And then the other one is how to get the most out of your campus visit. So the 40 plus college essay, this is by a guy that is just hilarious. And he has a blog actually, and he just gives some really great information. And you'll hear me reference him quite a bit as we're going through this college planning process as well. And so what happens if you participate in that one, but you really want to go to the other one too? Well, if you kind of scroll down here, you'll see that you'll have another opportunity on another of the panel days to pick up that session that you might have missed. And so what you're going to want to do after you set up your student account is you're going to actually register for the ones that seem pretty exciting to you. And so we can come over here and there will be a panel once these start taking place where you can go ahead and go back and access the recorded sessions if your parent wants to see them or if you've missed out on something or so on and so forth. So let's go back over here to our virtual fair day. So this is going to be an interesting way of doing things. This is new for everybody. So when you click on that one, this is when you're actually going to be looking at the colleges and hearing from the representatives. Normally, these reps can actually come around to our school, but again, with COVID, we've had to kind of limit what we've done so far semester one. So what you can do is just pick, again, which session you want to register, and these 6 colleges will actually be in a panel format, and they'll give a very brief lowdown on who they are, the major programs that their college is renowned for, and they'll go over some of the admissions criteria for students. And so that kind of gives you a good idea. Like, again, even if you're in 9th and 10th grade, this is a great resource for you because you can really start kind of comparing, well, what is my progress now? Or is my GPA or my grades is sort of in sync and along the same lines as the students who get accepted into this particular college? So, for example, if we're looking at session one, it's going to be held on Tuesday the 6th from 5 to 5:45. You're going to hear from ABAC, Anderson, Andrew, App State, Arcadia, and University of Alabama at Birmingham. So I do want to kind of make the distinction. There's a lot of confusion with the University of Alabama. This is a separate university other than the University of Alabama that you're probably used to playing UGA. And so then on the session two, you've got a whole other host, and you can see they're kind of done it with by alpha order, so it's sort of easy for you to hop on any one of these that you want and find the colleges pretty easily. So you can see there's about 160 colleges that are going to participate. And as I'm looking through this list, I see public university system colleges like Georgia Southern. We have technical college representation like North Georgia Technical College. I see some out-of-state schools like Troy University, Ole Miss, and then of course we have some private representation in in-state colleges like Berry College. And over here we have some out-of-state public schools again like App State. So you've got a really good mix here. And then going down here, you've even got some of your Division I schools like Florida State. Lee University is another private college that's out of state. This is one that's actually really well known for some of their Division II sports programs. We have some historically Black colleges and universities representation. For example, Fort Valley University. We have some engineering STEM schools like Kennesaw. So you can really just find everything at your fingertips right here. So what I really want you to spend the next portion of your Pride session, you should have maybe about 10, 15 minutes left. I'd like for you to try to go ahead and log in using that QR code and using the other resources that I've posted on the website, which is the readytograduate.com. If you will actually go ahead and set up your student account and start exploring. And then again, if you want to look at some of these schools, say, for example, you're not really sure what ABAC has to offer. Remember, you can always hop over here to that great website we have called georgiafutures.org. And again, if you haven't set up your student account for Georgia Futures, now is a great time for you to go ahead and take 5 minutes and do that. But under college planning, you can kind of cross-reference some of these colleges by going back into the college search. And again, we have, for the in-state schools, we have it broken down to the USG public schools, technical colleges, private colleges and universities. And then if you're not sure about some of those out-of-state colleges, you can use this national search to quickly filter, or just do what I do. I kind of cheat and just use Google. But this is still a great resource for you to find all of this information in one localized area. So your job today is to get on the Probe College Fair website and go ahead and register and go ahead and browse some of those panels and see what they have to offer, and maybe go ahead and register some. Go ahead and ensure that seat space. And then if you have some extra time, get to know some of those colleges. If you see some of those names and you're really not sure what they're about, use this 5 or 10 minutes that you have left to hop on Georgia Futures and research, or just Google them and start looking at their admissions page, their clubs, their sports programs, maybe even some study abroad. That seems to be a really huge draw for some of the colleges right here, right now. So I hope this kind of helps get you started just with the uncertainties of COVID and how we'll be able to bring college reps in and how we'll be able to plan intentional college visits. This is just a great way to get started with getting some awareness from it until kind of things start to get back to what we are used to as being normal. And again, if you're in ninth grade, don't eye roll this, because you are not too early to get ahead of this game and start knowing what the schools and what your options are. So we can sort of help plan your high school planning when it's time to do registration in the spring. So I hope this was a little helpful, and I hope you have a great day. And as always, if you have further questions and want to schedule some appointments, you can work through your school counselors, and I'm certainly always here to help you as well. Y'all have a great day and even better fall break.